Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Tech at Microsoft. My name is Mario De Silva. I'm a specialist at Microsoft that focuses on hybrid work. We've got 20 minutes for the session today, so I'm going to try and keep this quite sharp. However, you do have an opportunity to ask questions as we go along. And I'm going to touch this topic about meeting rooms with the hybrid work context at a very high level initially, with a view that I want to kind of give you a good snapshot of considerations, what I'm passionate about, and some of the things for you to consider as you're going through this journey of hybrid work with Microsoft Teams, and how does that meeting room, what are the things you need to consider about meeting rooms when you're looking at them, as well as some of the experiences I've had through customers that I've worked with. So first thing I want to talk about is cloud video interop. I hear a lot of my customers saying, I've got a lot of legacy meeting rooms that I've invested in. They might be SIP-based meeting rooms. They might be H323 meeting rooms that they've got today that they've invested in maybe 12 months back, 24 months back. And they cannot replace that meeting room without writing off that hardware that they've invested in. That's where Cloud Video Interop plays a role for those customers. Cloud Video Interop really helps customers bring their legacy meeting rooms into the Microsoft Teams platform so that people can still participate from those meeting rooms in a team scheduled meeting. Now, we have partners that we've certified for Cloud Video Interop that are using the APIs that we provided as part of the CVI platform, with Polycom, Cisco, Pexip, and BlueJeans, as you can see at the bottom of that slide there. One thing I want to call out, though, for all of you out there is that Cloud Video Interop should be seen as an interim solution. Don't look at Cloud Video Interop as a solution that I'm going to run for 3 years, 5 years, because one of the things you're going to miss out by doing Cloud Video Interop is some of the innovation that Microsoft's driving. In fact, I would say a large amount of the innovation that Microsoft's driving in the meeting room experience, right? So let's take a look at what that is at a kind of a, again, I'm not going to go through the roadmap in detail here. If you want to see the roadmap and the new capabilities that are being launched monthly by Microsoft in the meetings platform, but in Teams in general, you can go to the Microsoft Teams blog site. I've got a link on the bottom of the page, and I believe it's going to be posted in the comments section as well. So you can go and take a look at it. At the end of each month, we'll publish our roadmap of new capabilities that we are releasing, as well as new capabilities that have dropped that month, right? So great link for you to bookmark and visit once a month in the first week of each month and look at what Microsoft's released or has announced that's coming in the near future. But one of the things I called out earlier is with CVI or Cloud Video Interop, you are not going to get the innovation that Microsoft's driving in the platform. So for example, Microsoft recently released a capability called Front Row, which is a new screen layout. It gives you some really great innovation where it brings the remote parties and the people in the meeting room at the same eye level, gives you a really immersive collaboration experience and an awesome screen layout. You're not going to have that in a CVI endpoint. You're going to miss things like having all the, I guess, the reactions that you can have in Teams, which you've had working from home. You're not going to have that again with the CVI capability today. I know that one of those CVI partners is looking to inject it into the product in the near future, but it's not available today. You're not going to have things like the ability to use smart, intelligent cameras that are being released as we speak by a lot of our hardware partners, and you won't get the benefits of that experience. Intelligent camera, intelligent speaker capabilities where you might have multiple people in a meeting room. Let's say you've got a meeting room with 5 to 10 people in it. And if you've got transcription turned on today, it'll say meeting room XYZ said this. With those intelligent speakers, you're going to have the ability to actually attribute the message or the statement that's been made to a person in the meeting room, to that individual, of course, by them having voice prints stored in the platform. but it lets you get it to that level, and you're not going to have that again with CVI. And you got a whole list of capabilities on the screen there that you're going to miss out, right? And Microsoft, all the new capabilities, like I said, is not going to be available to you in the platform. You will have the ability, though, to join meetings. You'll be able to interact with, present in meetings and those kind of basic capabilities, but you're not going to have the rich Teams meeting experience. And this is one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of our customers today actually deploying Teams native meeting room hardware. And the reason for doing that is they need a reason to get people back into the office. With COVID, everyone's been used to working from home, using Teams, having that great collaborative and innovative experience working from home. But if they come back into the office and they've still got this legacy experience and limited experience, then it's going to not drive the right behavior of trying to get people back into the office. And that's why I'm seeing a lot of customers going out there and actually deploying Teams meeting rooms, at least for a footprint of their meeting rooms, if not all in one hit, right? Just one other thing I'm seeing a lot of customers do on that front as well is there is a capital expense to deploying Teams meeting rooms. Let's be honest about it. The one approach that I'm seeing more and more customers looking at it, looking at the way to get there, is looking at meeting room as a service kind of approach, where they have an OpEx model for meeting rooms. And I'll talk about that a bit later as well as we go through this 20-minute session. So I just wanted to show you what front row looks like over here. And the quick video we'll walk through, it'll show you the look and feel, people around the table, the ability to see everyone at eye level, showing you those reactions, and actually having that kind of immersive experience and kind of getting access to the data, raising hands. I personally love raising hands for the simple reason why I love raising hands is because when I used to be, let's say 5 years, 10 years back when I was working remote, and I was the only one remote, what I would find is people in the room would be having a conversation and the remote party would be forgotten. With raising hands and those kind of capabilities, you actually have the ability to feel present in the room and actually get your voice heard in the room as well. So those are basic things, but it changes the way people work on a day-to-day basis. I want to talk briefly, and I didn't want this to be a Microsoft licensing conversation, right? But at a very high level, there are two licensing options for you available with Teams meeting rooms. One is a standard license, and the other one is the premium license. And you've got the list of things that are there on the screen in each license. The key differentiator between the two is the remote device management by Microsoft, right? With the standard license, you don't get that. With the premium license, you get that capability. What that means for an end user, and my guidance for you out there as a customer, if you're looking at this and saying which licensing path is the right one for me, if you want people in your organization, you've got skilled people who understand AV, who will walk into a room on a regular basis and check that all the speakers, mic, and everything are well connected, and also that you want to have complete oversight over it. In that case, a standard meeting room license is great for you. But if you want Microsoft to manage that for you, and if you want Microsoft to let you know when someone's walked into a room, unplugged, let's say a USB-C cable because they thought they could charge their phone with it, and then walked out of the room leaving the cable disconnected, and you want notification of that proactively so that someone can go in and then reconnect it, those are the kind of capabilities that are built into the managed meeting room platform with the premium SKU. We give you the tools to push out proactive updates. We'll do security monitoring and patching on those devices for you. And we'll provide guidance as well when you want to expand your footprint around the meeting rooms. Again, I could spend an hour and a half just talking about this topic. I've given you some links at the bottom over there. Again, take a look at those links. That'll help you and give you some guidance as to what managed meeting rooms really provides as part of the premium SKU. I've kind of not done it justice today, but I wanted to give you a quick snapshot, at least in the interest of time today, to give you a view of really what's built into the platform. And we have AI built into it. We've got a lot of other capabilities built into it, which will help you automate. On average, what we're saying is when you walk into a managed meeting room, the the meeting startup time is roughly 2 minutes, basically, when you walk into a managed meeting room versus something anywhere between 8 to 10 to 15 minutes in an unmanaged meeting room, because typically if that wire was unplugged, someone walks into a room, tries to join a meeting, has issues, they're going to call up IT, you need to send someone up to fix it. You go through all those issues, which in the end results in end user dissatisfaction and will also result in not a high usage of those meeting rooms because of the experiences people have. So let's think about what do you need to consider when deploying Teams meeting rooms. One of the key things I would call out is this is not something I would encourage a customer to go and do themselves, right? Because there are lots of complexities in deploying Teams meeting rooms. We've got some great, awesome partners that we have worked with and certified to make sure that they can do a quality job around deploying Microsoft Teams meeting rooms. And the URL will be posted again in the chat window where you can look up by country who are the partners who can support you on your Teams meeting rooms journey. And the reason I say is to use a partner is for simple things, because these partners are skilled up in coming into your environment and assessing your environment, right? So the basic assessment would be small meeting room, large meeting room, extra large meeting room, and huddle rooms and other rooms, and classifying the meeting rooms. But it goes beyond that, because what you got to do and consider when you're deploying meeting rooms is what are the panels, what are the walls made of? Is it a glass wall? Because that's going to bounce more sound off it. Do you have carpet on the floor? Do you have wood panels on the floor? What's your roof look like? All these things will dictate the end user experience when someone walks into a room. And these partners are skilled up in providing you that AV advice that'll make sure that the device that's put in the room is purpose built for that room. They'll also help you understand whether that room is meant just for meetings or whether you're going to use it as a collaboration space as well. And in that case, you might want to have an interactive whiteboard like a Surface Hub in that meeting room and have co-join capabilities between those two platforms, between an MTR and a Surface Hub, right? So these are the kind of skills that a partner brings to the table and will help you on that journey that you're going through. But beyond that, I've given you some tips and tricks around what do you need to look for, or what do you need to consider technically, at least, when you're deploying a Teams meeting room. So first of all, your network connectivity requirements. We encourage you to have a wired connection. Wireless, some devices will work with wireless, but as you can appreciate, the throughput on wireless can vary depending upon the saturation and the access point. And we always recommend wired connection wherever possible within a customer environment. There are things around firewall changes, the Windows update, access to the Windows update service, access to the time server that the device needs to have. Proxy authentication is not supported by Microsoft because it's just majorly impacts the performance of the device, so it's not even supported. And I know we've run into a few issues with a few customers that enforce proxy authentication. So something for you to think about is there's other ways to achieve that level of security without having the device to authenticate each time. And also things around Surface Hub account setups, all the guidance is on the website. The licensing we've just briefly discussed. I would strongly encourage you, if you don't have a dedicated AV team in your business, go for the premium SKU, because that'll just take a lot of the heartache of managing those rooms off you with the proactive reporting and the proactive tools that are made available to you to manage that device. And also think about guest join, right? So is that meeting room going to be invited to an external, let's say a Zoom meeting or a Cisco meeting? And you need to enable that capability, the direct guest join capability on the device as well, right? So think about all these things when you're going through a meeting room setup. Hence, I say work with a certified partner who can take you on that journey and give you that best experience for your end users on the platform. I've only got 2 more slides, and I know I've been rushing through a fair bit. I'm hoping I've given you a few nuggets to think about. a few links that you've got over there in the URL as well that you can go through and digest that information and come back to the community. We'll have further calls on different topics, but if you've got questions, hey, ping me on LinkedIn even, and I'm happy to take a few questions there. If you listen to this call or this recording, say in a month's time, and you've got a question about it, let's keep the conversation going. I want to make sure you get the right outcome and the best experience with the meeting room platform. So let's talk about the room spaces, right? And Microsoft only manufactures one piece of hardware for the meeting room, and that's the Surface Hub. And the Surface Hub is really targeted as a device that goes into small meeting rooms, huddle spaces where you're going to do collaboration, where you want to interact with the device and collaborate actively while it's in a Teams meeting, and also use it when it's not in a Teams meeting, right? So that's one device. But what we've done is worked with our hardware vendors, and you can see all their logos on the screen again, that give you a sense of what device will fit which room on the screen here. So we've broken it down into small, medium, and large rooms. Those are the different vendors that we work with. One of the benefits of working with an ecosystem of hardware vendors for us, and I apologize to any vendor if I've forgotten you off this list, because we keep adding to this list. So please, there is a link again at the top. Go to that link. It shows you all the Microsoft Teams certified hardware vendors based upon the room types that you've got on the screen here. One of the big benefits of having an ecosystem of hardware vendors is we've managed to bring down the price of a meeting room hardware. Previously, when you did a basic meeting room, you would have spent, let's say, $30,000 or above for a basic H323 meeting room. Today, a small meeting room with Microsoft, I'm not providing you price guidance here, but around between the range of, depending upon which vendors you go with, between the range of $3,000 to $5,000, right? We've actually brought the entire price of meeting room platform down by working with an ecosystem of hardware vendors here. And I think that's a benefit to you, the customer. We've also got two different types of platforms for meeting rooms. One is Teams rooms that are based on Windows, and then we got Teams rooms that are based on the Android platform, right? Some customers have preference for one, some have preference for the others. Do a trial of both platforms, make sure which one meets your needs and gives you the management, the capabilities, and the richness of the platform that you're looking for. And then, of course, you've got the ideation boards category, which is the Surface Hub devices, as well as Neat, which is a newly certified partner of ours that provides you an MTR device that has an interactive board as part of it as well. We will have a fourth category of devices coming out, which if you've looked at some of the Ignite launches, or I shouldn't say Ignite, actually, that was announced at Enterprise Connect. There will be personal devices that are coming out, which will be more suited for execs working from home, those kind of scenarios. And we can share that in a future session, or go take a look at some of the Enterprise Connect. That blog site has got information on that. Go take a look at it and you'll get information there as well. With that, I'm on time. I'll throw, if there's any questions, I'm being told there's no questions right now on the chat. But if you've got any questions, ping us. I'll stick around for the next 30 seconds. If we don't run out of time, I'm just on time. But otherwise, if there's no questions, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, I've given you a few tips and tricks in this session, and look forward to engaging with you more on the Tech Talks channel. Really appreciate your time. Take care.